This was exactly what we were trying to avoid from happening. But we had a plan. We stuck to it. We timed it just right. And we were successful, which usually seems to be the case. Usually seems to be how things work out when you have a plan.
Yeah, legend status, ask about the name. I've been putting in work, collecting, fuck the fame. Up in the stat while they watch.
Welcome back. Did you think I was going to be gone longer? Yeah, I know. Some of you guys did. It's okay. I get it. I understand. But this is, in essence, my new studio, or at least for today and for this video. And in the future, you'll see more depending on which channels you are watching, as we are sharing more collectively as a whole and really telling our story, and doing more than whatever it was that we used to do, or at least for me. I know Michelle, my wife, is also reevaluating and considering how she wants to proceed moving forward. And just as a little bit of a backstory, what you see behind me are our new cabinets, custom-made cabinets, custom wardrobe. And when we moved in, actually before we moved in, when we placed an offer on this house, we were so excited that we kind of just ignored the little things, right? Most expensive house we've ever purchased. And we did it in the shortest amount of time we've ever taken to buy a house. From walking it to submitting an offer to negotiating to even closing. Like, it was the most condensed time frame ever. And we had an amazing team to help pull that off. We also had tremendous help and support from the YouTube videos that we were making to make that dream a reality financially, which we're helping so many other people do the same each and every day over in Patreon. And what we overlooked were probably like 3 little things, maybe. One of them being, this is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom. And it would be better if it were a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Yeah, it would be better if it were a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. We kind of overlooked that, but it's just the 3 of us, and Michelle and I share a bathroom, and our daughter should, eventually be moving out. She's getting older and of age where she's going to be moving out, going to college. And yeah, so there's that. Okay. Now, granted, considering the housing market, our interests, literally where we wanted to live, the zip code and everything, it's the 80-20 rule. You're never going to get 100%. You're never going to get it exactly right, exactly perfect the way you want it. It's the 80-20 rule. Maybe even 81-19. Better yet, probably higher than that for us, really just being honest. 95-5. And so that was one thing we overlooked. The other one was actually the height of the bathroom vanities, for which Michelle does her makeup, and the seating area and all that. And the height of it and the height of the mirrors kind of just, it's a little off. Like, the counters is just a little too high. Everything's just a little too high. So, not that we would probably spend the time or money or headache to remodel the bathroom, but if we did, then there would be some tweaks and changes there to get it perfect, which we love this house. We really do. But I'm also not entirely convinced this is the last house we're going to live in. So who knows, So we do it one more time. I think we could do it one more time. If we did it one more time, maybe two more times. But if we did it one more time, then it's just like, okay, we would take the list of wants and then take the list of desire, put it all together. This is actually something that I've talked about and I've shared, and I even experience it myself still to this day, that people don't really know exactly what they want. They don't. They have an idea of what they want, but it's not until they get what they thought they wanted that they realize the things that they don't want. And that's where we grow from saying, I really wanted to, at a young age, I really wanted to make $100,000. And so I found a career, job that would help me accomplish that goal. Well, then I realized, I really want to make $100,000 a year, but I don't want to do this job. Okay. So, all right. So we're moving on. So the next thing I want to do is make over $100,000 a year, but also not work this job and work for myself. So I did that. And then from there, learn, okay, I enjoy working for myself. I enjoy making this kind of money, but I don't enjoy working for myself, making this kind of money in construction. So I want to move on to something else. And we are literally evolving as we speak. And it's because of this evolution and this constant climb up our own ladder of personal progress in life that we should, hopefully, in essence, from these lessons, discover and keep track and focus on the things we don't want, so we can eliminate them from our lives, in essence, moving towards improving our lives overall. And then from there, discovering new things we don't like. I felt pretty confident that I didn't want a pool. We have a pool. It came with the house. It is what it is, but I wouldn't do another pool. At least not an open pool with trees without the sunshade. And there's a lot. I would do another pool now that we have one, but I would do it differently. There's just little things, that we learn. And so the third thing that we kind of missed or overlooked or just was so excited about everything else that didn't really matter was the fact that the closets weren't perfect. So my daughter's closet's nice. It's just not perfect for a teenage girl. We need to modify her closet. The closet in the guest room is really nice, and they had bookshelves in there, and Michelle left the bookshelves. That was the only closet we were really kind of worried about. And our closet in the master or primary, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, bedroom is the best closet we've ever had. It is the best closet we've ever had. So we were like, this is awesome. But it wasn't until Michelle starts hanging up clothes that after we moved in, and she's like, I don't have anywhere to hang long dresses. Now she does. Now she does. And this bedroom is huge. It's massive. So we had plenty of space to build out this giant wardrobe, for which when we were in Atlanta, we actually built one or three actually from Wayfair, but we didn't want to do that again. We wanted it higher quality. We wanted something that was going to last like a very long time, and also specific to our taste, not just what was available. So we had these custom made by a local cabinet maker, and they should be complete here soon. And when they are complete, then that video will be delivered on another channel. So if you guys are interested in all my channels, then I suggest that you come on over to Patreon, because that's where I will share everything for, entirety. I'm not going to do it here because it's not, the unknown. I know how the algorithm works. I know how the audience works. I know how everything works. And I know that there's certain people I don't want to invite over. We'll just leave it like that. If I'm throwing a party, not everybody's invited. You need to be on the guest list. So for those of you who are interested and really want to know, then Patreon is going to be the best bet for you to be connected entirely. Okay. There's that. And so those are the three things that we kind of overlook, but we are actually in the process of just remedying that. And, just really just being very happy and very comfortable here. With that being said, there's going to be a desk in here. There's going to be a little desk right there. It's going to be like a little studio thing. It's going to be real nice. It's going to be a little workstation and all that. And so, really excited for that. And it was delivered today. They did some trim work, and this is work in progress. And we dodged the rain because it was supposed to rain, as it is now, but we dodged it. Everything was brought in safely, no water issues, nothing. All right, so we're good to go. So very happy, very excited about that, and looking forward to the end result. Perhaps maybe even an end result that puts me or us in a different state of mind, a different mind frame for how we think about our conversations and what's next. Today, I really wanted to talk to you guys about a message that I received from a friend, and I'll show you what he sent me. And it's day 92. He's past day 92 now. But this shows day 92. There's an app. There's an app that tracks your cigarette usage, basically. And this is for people who are trying to quit. And he's got all his stats up here. I'll show you guys. But I just thought it was extremely ironic and interesting how the general public goes about in their commentary and opinions about change. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. I get it. I understand. And in this social media based world where we even have a comment section open and available for people to leave comments, then we are not immune from that unless we just turn the comments off, which they're on for now. However, certain things, certain change, certain life altering events are far more acceptable than others. And that I don't understand. That I don't get. I highly doubt that you'd ever find a situation where someone says, I'm quitting smoking. I'm quitting smoking. And then you have people arguing with you not to. Arguing with or trying to challenge and debate. Why would you ever think of doing such a thing? Or in even extreme scenarios saying, well, if you're not going to smoke cigarettes anymore, then we can't be friends. We can't hang out. Okay. And if that has happened, I would be shocked, but I'm willing to bet that we're going to go not 80-20, not 81-19, not 95-5. I'm going to be willing to bet we're going to go 100%. When someone says they want to quit smoking, there's no opposition. Not even from the damn cigarette manufacturers. I think they actually even have programs to try to help you stop, which is crazy when you think about it. Part of this app and what it shows is the smoke-free days at 91 days, 2 hours, 41 minutes, and 57 seconds, which is obviously still counting. Life regained, which is huge, folks. Life regained. Let's talk about that. Cigarettes not smoked, almost $1,900, and money saved so far over $600. The money savings, well, kind of goes without saying, but for some people, it's nothing. For some people, it's nothing. And I think for most people, cigarette smokers, the money they spend on cigarettes is irrelevant. Never a factor of consideration. They could be down to their last dollars. I don't know how much cigarettes cost, but whatever they cost and they're down to their last dollars, odds are they're going to spend their last dollars on buying cigarettes. That's just it. That's just how I feel. That's just what I've seen. Okay. So my buddy, my friend, is quitting. He's doing a really good job. Part of his reward was at 90 days, he was going to buy a golden tee golf game. And previously, we've been playing golden tee at bars and different restaurants and things like that. But he goes, 90 days, I'm going to buy myself golden tee. Golden tee is $7,000, by the way. So saving $600 on cigarettes and saying at 90 days, you're going to spend $7,000 on a video game. Trust me, it's not about the money. Okay. It's not about the money, but it's about, the reward from this life-changing decision that is a net positive for you overall. Quitting smoking is a net positive, right? And then by succeeding in this, you reward yourself with another positive. And so I feel like I'm there. Granted, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I am making a massive change, massive life-altering change. And I'm looking for the net positive and essentially the reward down the road. Whatever that reward may be, I'll let you guys know. I'll fill you in. I don't have one in mind in particular. I'm very content, honestly. However, maybe the reward would be modifications to my car, maybe. And yes, I have a car channel. Again, if you want to know more about me personally, specifically, and every other channel and business and money making and saving and investing, all that, come on over to Patreon. If you're more so interested in just the money savings and you're on Medicare, then make sure you hit up our friends at Chapter and ask them about money savings, potential and opportunities for you. You don't have to quit smoking in order to save $637 just so that you don't need to quit smoking to save $637. You see what I'm saying? You could literally call Chapter, and on average, people are saving $1,100. So, it's just as simple and as easy as that. And it's also tied into your health and all good things, right? So there's that. Trying to find my place here. Oh, we got to get back to the life regained. We got to get back to life regained because that's huge. That's huge. And I was actually trying to pull up, I found this account on X, and it's called The Power of Positivity, or just @live positivity, Power of Positivity. And there are a few posts that they have shared that really caught my attention today. These posts have caught my attention. I've bookmarked them and I've saved them, and now I'm going to share them with you. And this is part of a meaningful change in myself. Whereas we can still do this and we can still have these conversations, but for what reason? And, focused and centered around what topics? And at the end of the day, who does it benefit more? We talked about that yesterday. I want this to benefit as many people as possible, not just me, from the perspective of ad revenue and sponsorship opportunities from YouTube. Now, granted, some folks will say or would have said or have actually said, as I've read from yesterday's video comments, all the great things, all the benefit, all the good stuff, as far as the content that was created and the conversations that we were having. I get it. I understand. And again, in your opinion, great. But for me, and I think for the overall of society, or perhaps maybe the future of viewers and subscribers to this channel, I think this right now is the move. Okay. I think this is the play. And there really shouldn't be, much like saying I'm going to quit smoking cigarettes, opposition. It shouldn't be. It should be good for you. Good luck, best wishes. There should be that. Yeah. Yesterday's video, it only lost so far 48 subs that it shows. My channel lost over 100, I think. And I was really expecting more, but it is what it is. So I will actually be doing updates on that, but not right now. I'm not sure where I'm going to post it. Probably hit Patreon first, because I think it's going to be an absolute mind-blowing, eye-opening experience and deep dive and back-end analytic look at YouTube to show current content creators and or future content creators the numbers, how it works, what matters most, and what you should pay attention to in your own path to creating and growing and your success and your brand and your business, okay? And your money, okay? But first up here from Power of Positivity, being selective about who deserves your time and attention is self-care. I am actively engaging in my own self-care. Don't tell anyone what you're doing until it's done. Outside energy can throw off goals. And so that's a good one, because I actually wrote that down earlier today. I've been taking notes. Go get my book. Yeah, I take notes on my MacBook. I use Google Drive now more than I used to use Microsoft OneNote, but now I'm using Google Drive. There's some issues. There's always issues, but Drive has been relatively problem-free for the most part, knock on wood. And I even saw Sarah Dietschy yesterday post a video about her issues with Apple Notes. And when you take notes and then the app that you were counting on to keep up with your notes just completely deletes all your shit, that hurts. That hurts. So I've tried to find the safest place that also allows versatility, where I can access notes from my laptop, from my smartphone, from anywhere with an internet connection, basically, as long as I log into Google Drive or my email address, basically. But then I also have this, which has like some grease on it or butter or something. But I like to take physical handwritten notes as well, because they mean more. I think they resonate, they stick with my brain a little bit more. But one of the notes that I actually wrote down today was, don't talk about what I'm doing. Share what I've done. The note to myself there. And so, this one really resonates. Don't tell anyone what you're doing until it's done. Outside energy can throw off goals. So usually what you guys are going to get here will be what has already been done. If you want to know what I'm doing, then Patreon is going to be your best bet. It says, you're not behind. Your path just takes a little bit more patience. That's a good one. That's a good one, because I think a lot of people feel like maybe they're behind as they compare themselves to others. And that is entirely not true. Not the case. This one is not from Power of Positivity, but it just resonated and I wanted to save it. And it says, young men, your wife is your greatest financial, physical, and emotional decision. Don't rush it. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't rush it. And my wife is the greatest. Here's the one now. This is the one that really ties it all in full circle. And these are the 10 luxuries in life for which, there's nothing wrong with wanting to achieve and accomplish the luxuries in this life, this short life that you have here, okay? And so we're going to go from 10 down to 1, because number 1 is most important. But number 10 is meaningful connections. Number 2 is the freedom of choice. Number 10 is meaningful connections. Number 9 is the freedom of choice. Number 8 is being able to travel. Number 7 is unconditional love. 6, financial stability. I don't think these are any real particular order here. I think it's more for the visual. 5 is inner peace, working on that. 4 is good sleep. Bought a Tempur-Pedic, don't regret it. 3, security. We bought a Tempur-Pedic and we got a Nest module to put the temperature setting in here. So Michelle gets the absolute coldest temperature she wants while she sleep. Good sleep, okay? Is also another way to get good sleep on top of that. But yeah, that's for a little bit older crowd, maybe. Different channel, different conversation. All right, so number 3 is security. And number 2 is health. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, is time. And so to see that on this app, as far as what was regained is life regained. And so far, 13 days, 22 hours, 4 minutes and 44 seconds and counting. That is huge. And it's huge. Do you see this? Do you hear this? Do you feel this? That's life regained, okay? Because that did not exist a few days ago in some of the shit that we were discussing and talking about, purely just to, get a rise out of the algorithm and get this vanity metric push for the dollar signs. And I'm sitting down to edit this video, and it just dawned on me as I'm sitting here firing up Final Cut Pro, but I forgot to mention one of the most important aspects of this conversation about time. Because time, think about how valuable time is, okay? It's number one on the list. However, it's what people work for. It's why people work so hard to achieve the goals at which they are trying to achieve, so that they could essentially have as much time as they want to do the things that they want to do, to spend it with the people they want to spend it with, whatever really and truly time, the more money you have, the more wealth you accumulate, the more success you achieve. In theory, the more time you should have available to you now or soon to be in the future. I mean, just look at Jeff Bezos. Look at Jeff Bezos. Look at Jeff Bezos. Look at Elon Musk. Look at President Trump. Multi-billionaires who have time and eventually will, much like Bezos, choose to retire and spend that time and their money however it is they choose. On the flip side, on the inverse, well, what's the greatest thing that can be taken away from you? Time. Convicted criminals, felons, prisoners lose time. They take their time away. Yeah, sure, things can happen. You can be hit with a fine. But the worst of the worst is taking time. Sentences, years, decades, life, time. Very, very valuable. You could lose money. You could have to pay for certain things, but you can get money back. How many people, I think about it, how many, countless, made it big athletes, business owners, entrepreneurs, lottery winners, heirs to inheritances can get money, can lose money, can get money again. Money literally, truly has no real value outside of what we allow it to essentially be exchanged for. But if you lose time, you can't get that back. You cannot get that back. So I just wanted to share that. I thought that was extremely important and be 100% clear and transparent with you guys as far as how much I value my time and how I am not going to waste my time on things that don't really matter to me. And this one here, actually, let me get back to that. Let me get back to that. Because there's one more that I have saved here that I want to show you. But there's also one more book that I have here. And I got a certain pen too, a certain ink flow you got to have. It's really important, like the little things in life, right? And that pen's not expensive, by the way. I tend to find the best, I think, options for the lowest price, okay? You could go out and buy a pen that costs thousands of dollars. It probably isn't better than mine, okay, for $10. And then the refills are like $1 a piece. How many of you actually use a pen that you've refilled? You see what I'm saying? Like this, we don't throw away pens. Like you find a good one, you stick with it, okay? I was running a very inexpensive MacBook and then I decided to upgrade, but I still didn't upgrade to the top of the line. But I will say today, as I was cleaning up storage after going through a lot of different projects, go get a 1 terabyte at least. Get a 1 terabyte at least. And, it's not the cheapest laptop, but it's also not the most expensive. But you get what you pay for. You buy right or you buy twice. There's that. We could take this conversation into the garage and talk about cars. But even in that perspective, I feel very, very strongly about what was purchased and the value that's there for the price that it is. And I don't think you can really beat it for the money. Yeah, so there's that. But there's so many other things that we could be talking about from that perspective. So again, if you want to have these conversations, then hit me up directly on Patreon. If you want to work directly with me, then we need to schedule a discovery call and talk about things and see if we are a good fit, if we're aligned, and if I could actually help you reach your goals. And we can definitely set that up if you'd like. The 5-minute journal. 5-minute journal. And my brother got this for me. And it says, dedicated to lifelong learners and doers. You're changing the world every day. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. The 5-minute journal is not a magic pill. Although there's certainly some magic at work here, you still have to do the work in the real world. Get out of your comfort zone, take action, and make magic happen. This journal is your guide. You are ready. I've had this for over 2 years, probably. But for some reason today, this journal found me again. And I chose to pick it up. And I'm choosing to actually use it. And, that was something Michelle and I talked about today. I sent her a video because I thought it was a helpful video. It was a message that needed to be heard and shared. And she says, well, how did you find this? And I said, it found me. And I said, it found me. I said, but it was on my homepage on YouTube. I said, it found me, but I chose to watch it. I chose to click that button and listen to what this person had to say. And I'm glad that I did. And so, it's like this book I've had forever, or not forever, but for a while. But today I chose to pick it up and I'm choosing to use it. And I think that it's going to be a net positive overall. I think it's going to be a net positive. So, the 5-minute journal is not a magic pill. Although there is certainly some magic at work here, you still have to do the work in the real world. We've had this conversation, Michelle and I, about manifestation, because that sounds like manifestation, right? Magic. But a key component of manifestation is actually doing the work. Otherwise, it's just a dream. It's just a wish. Okay. So I'm actually doing the work. And that's it. That's pretty much it. And, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm doing here, but if you stay tuned and stick around, I'll definitely fill you in on what I've done, what has been accomplished. So there's that. All right. Power of Positivity says we are not given a good life or bad life. We are given a life. It's up to us to make it good or bad. I'm going to leave it at that.